Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter that she's not going to marry a billionaire?
Oh, why?
I, 47 male, have a bit of a problem. I have a daughter, 20 female, and my wife is 46 female. She isn't my daughter's biological mother, but has been in her life since she was 13 years old. Her mother and I divorced when she was 12 due to her alcoholism. For about a year now, my daughter has got it in her head that she will marry a billionaire and that it will be the only way that she can be happy in this life.
Hold on a minute. Money doesn't make people rich. Sorry, happy, I mean.
Money makes me happy. I can only speculate that she has got this idea from social media. She's not doing great in school at the moment, and all she talks about is marrying a billionaire.
How she plans to achieve that?
How she thinks she can meet one, what type of house they'll have, how she'll be in a private jet, etc.
Interesting.
And she's trying to take the steps to make this happen, which had me worried. I found out that she has, for example, spent time in hotel lobbies, bars, having a drink, trying to pick up older guys or more. For a 13-year-old, I mean, she's very, very smart because, yes, these are the type of places you're going to meet.
Yeah, I mean,
she's very smart.
She's very
smart. Mind you,
13-year-old.
we do, yes, that's smart. Mind you, we do not come from poverty, and she has never experienced financial insecurity, but we are definitely not billionaires. My wife has a brother who is very well off, and my daughter has actively tried to get closer to him and his family in the pursuit of wealth. She's really serious about this. She's really serious about it.
This is like definition of when they say when you set your mind to something
you are going to achieve it. Yes. It got to the point where she ended up sharing selfies from the family house on social media, and now she's not allowed in there anymore due to the violation of their privacy. She has pulled similar stunts with other friends and family who have even a bit of a more lavish lifestyle. She wants to really have that lifestyle. She also has tried to message some of my work associates who are in a more glamorous position at work than I am, and I had to find out from them after they shared what my daughter has been sending them on LinkedIn, out of all platforms. She has been sending suggestive stuff to them and asking one of them to buy her fancy jewelry.
Wait, let me get something straight. What kind of things is she sending to them?
I really don't want to know. I mean,
this
girl seems very desperate for money.
Yeah, I think they said it's on social media. Keep going. I want to get something straight.
My daughter isn't stupid. She always has done well in school until recently. Her performance is very bad at the moment. Got into a good university and is proficient in multiple languages. She also wrote a book when she was 16 and made it quite successful even. But something has happened that has made her so obsessed with money, and I have no idea what it is. I mean, I'm so curious.
Now, that's the thing. Something happened. Now, what is the exact thing that happened? Because you can't just wake up one day and then be that obsessed with money. There has to be a root to something, and I hope you can add that context.
Let's find out.
Okay.
She's temporarily staying with us for some weeks, and as she's looking for a new apartment. And for the past 4 to 5 days, this entire thing has had her depressed. She hasn't got out of bed and keeps crying out because she doesn't have a billionaire boyfriend or husband.
Sorry for the laugh.
And has to stay in places that are not as glamorous as she would like. She cries like someone has died, and it sounds like intense grief. Every morning we wake up to her sobbing in our room. Oh my God. I've tried talking to her, and I've tried the loving approach of comforting her and telling her that one day she'll find someone who loves her as much as I do. It hasn't been good enough, and she'll say nasty things like, yeah, but he'll probably be broke, so I don't care. I then took a more direct approach and told her that there's only a very tiny fraction of the world's population who are billionaires, and most of them tend to marry each other or are already married.
That's
very true. So the statistical odds of this billionaire romance happening for her are practically zero. My wife thought I was being an a-hole by being so direct with her. and that I didn't have to ruin it for her like that. She tried defending her by saying that my daughter is still very young and that I should allow her to have her fantasies, but I just don't agree. Everyone can dream, sure, but the fact that she has already violated the boundaries of multiple people, and this situation is getting so on top of her that it's affecting her academic performance, means that something needs to be done. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
I do also.
I do agree with that because I don't see the kind of desperation you have for money that will just push you to go off the rails.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many ways to get money. Even if you don't marry a rich man,
she doesn't even think of working. She just wants to marry a
billionaire. Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Everyone can dream, sure, but the fact that she has already violated the boundaries of multiple people and that this situation is getting so on top of her that it's affecting our academic performance means that something needs to be done. I agree. This cannot be healthy in the long term. Plus, her trying to talk to much older men is just dangerous, and I really worry that she's going to end up hers. So, am I the a-hole for this approach?
Well, I mean, this thing kind of like have two sides.
It does. It does. I mean, I just see a young girl trying to achieve her dreams, and I see the parents just bringing her back to reality. Like, bro, you are dreaming too big.
Yeah, you're just giving her like a reality check. I mean, it's not that it's bad to dream. No, I mean, people dream. Yeah. I dream a lot.
Everybody has,
everybody has something they want to accomplish in their lifetime. Where this is kind of like, I don't know, off the rail is like her chatting a much older man and then not even thinking of her getting her own money or maybe trying to build something for herself. She just wants to marry a much older man, like already made.
Billionaire.
I'm not saying that she's not going to meet that kind of guy, considering the fact that she's smart enough to go and sit in a lounge.
I mean, she doesn't even want a millionaire. She wants a billionaire, bro.
That's like going off the rail, and she's like desperately desperate. So I'm not saying it's bad to dream. What I'm saying is that like dreaming too big and like messaging elderly men, I mean even your father's friends or co-workers on LinkedIn, that kind of thing, that's another level of cray. It is crazy because but what do you think other people have to say? Let's check what are the
let's check the top comments.
Okay.
Alamin Pepper 8357 said, your daughter may be smart in some areas, but her emotional IQ is hovering close to 0. Oh my God. That's very harsh. That is very harsh.
Sorry for the laugh.
Her intuitions on your business associates, etc., shows that she has no idea how people meet and move in the financial realm that she's aiming for.
Exactly.
This.
I mean, the way she's like parading with this, I want to marry a billionaire. It's like showing, it's like off the rails.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And her glaring attempt at attracting a billionaire is only making it less likely that a wealthy man will come along and snap her up. Most billionaires have extremely good BS detectors that can tell a gold digger from 100 miles away.
Now this
is so true. Oh, this person is very brilliant.
That's
this comment. Truthfully, I think your daughter desperately needs therapy. Her priorities are completely effed up, and the fact that she's hysterical at the idea of not marrying a wealthy man is disturbing on several levels. By the way, she's cruising for a bruising, and the way she's headed, someone is going to figure she's easy picking, use her, and dump her hard. And in this case, your wife is wrong. 20 years old is getting too old for romance fantasies. At 16, a girl might fantasize about meeting a prince, but at 20, they should have a better grip on reality.
Yeah, I think that makes sense also, if you ask me, because at 20, she's supposed to be thinking way more than the way she's currently thinking now.
She's still fantasizing.
I mean, she should wake up. I mean, is it when one of these guys gives her a reality check that she'll kind of like try to understand that most of these men will see her like what she is, and then they'll just probably flashes some couple of dollars.
Yeah, a man can even pretend.
Pretend. Yeah, that's a good point. Pretend to be rich, use and then dump her, kineko, something like that. But let's check what the next person has to say.
So, another commenter said here, I agree with this. Her emotional maturity seems low, and some therapy may help. An intelligent young person should be focused on creating their own success and happiness, looking for someone with similar future plans, and preparing for a happy life.
That makes sense. Yeah. You know, that's actually good. I mean, her emotional maturity is just so tiny.
So low.
So fucking low. Yeah. All right, keep going.
So, another commenter said, you hit the nail on the head. She is struggling in school now and hitting the panic button. She knows her future will be pretty bleak unless she buckles down and gets her shit together, or 2, marries rich. That's the only option. No. That's not the only option. She cannot marry a millionaire. Why is she looking for a billionaire?
I mean, she just doesn't want to work a single day in her life.
Wow.
Cannot make sense.
My mom used to say people who only marry for money end up working the hardest for it. Does this make sense? People who only marry for money end up working the hardest for it.
I mean, not all of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, no, but many of them.
Yeah.
But so, some of them. Do you think we have an update? Maybe an edit or updates, because I also want to know what later happened.
Yeah, there is an edit. I've reached out to therapists, and I'm also going through my daughter's social media at the moment, which is all public. I am trying to find any glaring red flags that may put her in danger. We'll update later. Thanks everyone for your suggestions, aside from those who just provided a list of ways to marry rich. What happened to love? As someone pointed out, yes, love alone does not pay the bills. Exactly. But what is so wrong with looking for a partner that has a stable income, doing what they love? I mean,
this makes sense.
Yeah.
This really makes sense.
I kind of like the father. He's
like being real.
Yeah, he's real, and he's also optimistic. He's not just trying to like cover the dream and just say no. He's trying to like provide other
and just give her a reality check.
Yeah.
Which actually makes sense.
Okay. Stability is not only found in the riches. Why does this person even have to be incredibly rich? Maybe I'm just being a weird old person here, but I am honestly astounded that this attitude is so common these days. I feel bad for the TikTok generation.
Ooh. Okay. You think we have an update?
Yes, we have an update.
Ooh. Okay, let's get into it.
It hasn't been many hours since my initial post, but I'm honestly trying to process everything, and I think writing this will help me. So it's Sunday. There has been zero response from the medical professionals I contacted. No updates there. If my daughter wants to go to therapy, I would 100% support it and pay for it. Speaking of, many people here have blamed me for enabling my daughter. I'm not quite sure how to feel about it yet. I have paid for her studies, her rent, and travel in case if she wants to go abroad to see her cousin, who she is close with, and who I believe is an excellent, wonderful role model. She is a successful woman who I think my daughter should definitely look up to.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I do not pay for my daughter's luxuries. She has asked for me to get her designer things and trips to places like Monaco previously. And I've told her that she needs to get a job as a tutor or something similar if she wants fancy things, because she needs to understand the value of money. I have, however, bought her luxuries like an iPhone, a tablet, and a MacBook, but the condition that she uses them to improve her life, that is, using them at the university to complete assignments. So I have some things to share now that I feel may be relevant. One was that I did a thorough check of her TikTok and Instagram. She has multiple profiles, but she always follows herself. So I managed to find those. And yes, she has reposted some alarming content from various female influencers.
Kind of like, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. Keep going.
Okay, let's check. A lot of them surprisingly were rather misogynistic, just packaged in a glamorous way. Lots of women saying things like a rich man would choose a poor but skinny waitress instead of an overweight CEO. She has been actively reposting content of women's shopping hauls of what their rich boyfriend or husband got them. Lots of stuffs about how men cannot love and how women should look like to get a rich guy. There are some videos she likes to repost in particular where a woman just screams at a camera, telling her viewers to wake up and stop dating brokies. Just horrible, toxic stuff that will rot your brain. Oh, now I see. This generation is effed. She also had posts of her own from expensive restaurants, among other places, where I can only assume guys had taken her out on dates. And I don't mean a £60 steakhouse, I mean restaurants where they serve 11-course meals can cost at least £20 per person. As she's not employed, I know for sure she's not paying for that herself. She also had a post where she explained alarmingly that women who want a handsome guy are trashy because real high value, as she called it, women go for a man's resources, not looks. It was absolutely bizarre seeing her talk like that. Then there was something even more alarming. She had written a post that implied she is subscribed to some course that is supposed to make her rich and famous, some content creator club. Basically, as I understood it, she had paid £500 out of her savings, the money I had given her, to some Russian creator whose entire online persona revolves around provider men and her glow up. The £500 went to coaching sessions with said creator where she was teaching my daughter the tricks to make money on social media. It sounded like a giant scam, in all honesty. The woman seemed rather crappy as well, proudly accepting big amounts of money from desperate girls who wanted to be famous or rich. How do I know this? My daughter had my daughter had several posts about it. They were all set to public, which is no longer the case as I have asked her to make her social media private, which she thankfully has agreed to. Anyways, then came the talk. I finally spoke to my daughter. I told her that first and foremost, she is an adult and gets to make adult choices, and whatever she does and whoever she dates is up to her. That said, I told her that I was concerned about her. I tried to gently ask what kind of guys she goes on dates with, and that, of course, she doesn't have to tell me, but if we can have an open dialogue, I think it will make both of us feel better. She did end up admitting that she goes out with much older guys who are between 30 and 60 years old. As a dad, as much as I felt grossed out, I wanted her to feel safe to tell me, as if anything ever happens, she can come to me. I asked her why she's so keen on having a much older rich guy and what that may bring in her life that she doesn't already have. She just mentioned the private jets, shopping trips, and a big house. I told her that while those certain things can be fun, it's not worth risking her autonomy and education for that stuff. Particularly because the chance that she'll end up with someone who will financially abuse her is quite high. Well, she sort of just thought she's too smart to be taken advantage of. I brought up a lot of bad things that can happen and asked if she had read about anything, the e-files. Huh?
What e-files? What's the e-file?
I'm trying to figure out what that is. She hadn't. I told her that there are numerous of reports of women and girls ending up in really bad situation. It went right over her head as well. I then asked why she had been sobbing, if she felt depressed, etc. And she finally broke down in tears. Again, I asked if something had happened that she didn't want to tell me about, and she said yes. I froze. I thought of the worst that a dad can think of and contemplated to go and grab a baseball bat. But nope, it was something different. She sobbed for a good 15 minutes without being able to say a word, but I patiently waited until she could. She told me that around a year ago, her and her friends snuck to a party together in one of those fancy hotels. Her friend apparently is also into the whole provider men dating trend. They had fun, had some food and drinks there, and according to my daughter, all the men were only into her friend. And a guy she had been eyeing for the whole night ended up asking for her friend's number instead. This then repeated multiple times over several months, where her friend would get approached instead of her. Then a little later, the girls found out that they actually was some guy who was a few years older at the university in their program, who actually was the son of a multi-millionaire. It became a huge fight between my daughter and her friends, where they began both trying to get the guy. This girl, who my daughter thought was her friend, started then spreading nasty rumors about my daughter and also had tried sabotaging her weight loss. As my daughter has always struggled with her weight, her former friend is now in a serious relationship with this guy, and as a result, my daughter feels like she was robbed of a good potential future with him. She also said that she feels so jealous all the time of her friend that it's consuming her. I was a bit confused, that was all. I even asked my daughter multiple times that this was all that happened and that no one has ever done anything to her against her consent. But no, that wasn't the case. She even went as far as to tell me that she's not even active, if you know what I mean. Sure, bullying can be traumatic, but my daughter's reaction still seems indicative of something else. She wants to continue at the university and has told me she will try again to pass some of the courses she hadn't passed, but doesn't seem to take it as seriously as she probably should. So, all in all, not sure where to go from here, my daughter has thankfully agreed to speak to a therapist. So, that's good news. That's all for now.
Wow. If you ask me, I think the daughter really needs to see that therapist.
Yeah, she really needs therapy.
The person that she thought was her friend, and they kind of like build this kind of like knowledge of we are going to marry a billionaire, and then the friend were probably taking advantage of the daughter. I mean, there's no way you will go to a club with your friend, and your friend will just be the one person that all the guys are like approaching or being attracted to. It just seems off. I don't know about you, but
I really feel like she's insecure.
Yeah, that also makes sense. That's also another way to look at
insecure. So she feels like if she has a billionaire man, a billionaire boyfriend or husband, it can cover this insecurity. Because he mentioned some things about weight loss.
Oh,
yeah. So I feel like this,
yeah,
this probably is a factor that's affecting how she thinks. So she's basically not fantasizing. She's trying to save herself. She's trying to hide from her insecurities by marrying a billionaire.
Yeah. And then use wealth
to cover up. Yeah.
I don't know, but what do you think? I don't know, think.
So what do you think? Drop your
comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you guys think.